Ahoy friends, I'm Governor Marley and that's Chuck the Plant. And this is our channel. We present you as usual everything about the wonderful world of point and click adventure games. In this episode we are going again for a LucasArts game and it is... yes, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. I know there are a lot of different Indiana Jones games out there, but we are only talking about the point and click adventure game from 1992, which is all about Indiana Jones and his search for the legendary sunken city of Atlantis. Director and main designer was Hal Warwood, and what was quite uniquely for that time was that the game features 3 unique paths through the game to select from, which I will show you a bit more about later. Further technical details as usually find on the Wikipedia side of the game. I personally played the game for the first time as well in the 1990s. And compared to its predecessors like Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, I find the puzzles quite a piece of cake. Don't get me wrong, still tricky riddles and labyrinths to solve, but especially at the beginning the playing is a little bit smoother. As usual, we won't give away too many spoilers and help us through the game. If you need any helpers for the game, there are plenty of walkthroughs here on YouTube. What we simply want to do is give you the best of the game and show you what makes it so special. So let's start with Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. So yeah, here we are diving right into it with the famous main signature of Indiana Jones, which we are so familiar with. And yeah, here you have right away the credits. And the cool thing about the beginning is that during those credits you also get a little bit of a how-to through the whole game. And yeah, there we have our main character right away in action. Not sure though why he breaks into the university where he also teaches. But anyway, as I say, you get a little tutorial on how to do the game right away during the credits itself. So right at the beginning we have to find our companion, Sophia Hapgood.
Looking at her.
And that's her, and we met her before and she's a colleague. And yeah, but we have to get by through our doorman, which was proving a bit tricky. So then we're coming across something you wouldn't expect in a point-and-click adventure game, but it's an actual fight. Yeah, and you actually have to win it to get through the game and to meet your companion, Sophia.
Well, don't just stand there.
So yeah, at some point we find our companion Sophia, and then at some point we can make a decision how to proceed with the whole game, as I explained it at the beginning. So there are 3 options. The first option is that you do it all by yourself and just solve the riddle as normal. The second option is that when Indy says that he likes it when it's a tough thing to find the mysterious Atlantis, that he goes in all the way. Then you have a lot of fighting scenes, as we have before with our friend the doorman. You have lots of these. If you like that, then you go this way. What I always go for is the third option, which is the option where you team up with Sophia, because that way it's not necessarily easier, but it's also much more fun. Their interactions can be entertaining. Also, you have some couple of additional scenes and storylines, which I'm sure you find maybe as interesting as I do. So yeah, and there wouldn't be, of course, any Indiana Jones game, movie or anything without Nazis. And here we have them, of course, as well. And yeah, especially the professor here has a very Frankenstein-y vibe we get here from. And yeah, we won't see the Nazis in that game quite a lot, which I think is totally fine. But of course it is Indiana Jones' main enemy as usual.
And those smug American scientists know nothing.
So what I really like about this game is also that you really travel around the world. So you can end up in a cave in Iceland, or in the middle of the jungle, or in Monte Carlo, or in the desert near Algiers. So that's also a thing that you really travel the world with Indiana Jones. And yeah, it's a little bit like in Zack McCracken, isn't it? So what really unique about this game is as well that you actually steer a hot air balloon, which can be quite a lot of fun, but also quite tricky. And it took me at least quite a while. It takes me always quite a while to figure out how it actually works to steer that thing. Yeah, at some point we are actually on a Nazi submarine, and not just that, but we are also able to stir the Nazi submarine, which is quite tricky on one hand, but can be also a very interesting experience. It's very much like stirring the hot air balloon, but with a really special twist. So really cool is when you're actually basically in Atlantis, that you not just have a normal labyrinth as before where you go from room to room, but you are actually on top of a labyrinth like you have in a maze, in a cartoon. And here you're not just going from room to room, but you also have to avoid Nazi soldiers. So you can actually fight them or you can run away. But it's quite a nice detail to being in an actual labyrinth where you go from room to room and have to solve the riddles and with items from each room. So while we are in Atlantis, it also gets really, really spooky. So if you are playing the path where you are teaming up with Sophia, there's one thing I find very, very cool to have, is that Sophia actually at some point gets possessed by the god or demon Nur al-Sab, and that's when you have this this really, really scary voice of her. And don't worry, we will be able to free her from Nur al-Sab, but it's a nice touch to have this possession kind of thing. It feels a bit like The Exorcist when you are talking to her.
Sophia.
Be mortal!
So after we fought some Nazis, after we traveled the world, we finally found the entrance to Atlantis, and we are in there. We are so close to find out the secrets of Atlantis. We come to my favorite part of the game, which is actually this room, or this gigantic cave with lots of doors. It's a little labyrinth, it's not too difficult to solve, but I simply love this atmosphere you have here. With the lava and with the colors. I think the designer did an amazing job here to bring so on point what's the essence of the whole game is. And right after that we have the grand finale where we find out finally the big secret of Atlantis. And that was it basically from me to show you my personal highlights. So that was it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing again Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. If you liked the video, please subscribe and or like it. If you have any recommendations or anything you would like me to discuss in another video, or anything else you want to discuss about point-and-click adventure games, please just let me know in the comments. Me and Chuck the Plant, we say goodbye and see you soon.